Welcome to Know Your Money, where we will explore our relationship with money and how the psychology of it impacts our financial decisions, as everyone thinks about money differently. In our podcast, we'll be presenting a variety of financial topics in an easy-to-understand way, which we hope will assist you with managing your money. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Know Your Money. Warren, Craig, how are you today?
Very well, and you, Bronwyn? Craig?
All good, Warren.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
Another week galloped by.
Can't believe it, man. Time has flown.
But this studio, the aircon is amazing.
You're welcome. Well, it's all the complaining you made. Huh?
Awesome. So, Bron, what have you got in store for us today?
So I was listening to a very cool podcast by Mel Robbins. She had a guest, Lisa Bellew. Don't really know if I'm saying it right, but she was like kind of pretty much a motivational person and how to think about things. And she spoke about people's different perspectives, which we can chat about in another episode. But the one thing I loved so much that she spoke about is getting rid of the when. And what she means by that is, like, she said, okay, I will start my own business when this happens, or I'll do this when the kids are out of school, or I'll start saving for my retirement when I've paid off my debt. I'll do all of these things when.
Sounds like me. Yeah.
And you don't understand how the when impacts your life, like, and how you don't get things done. Like, what are the whens you can think of that either of you have been saying?
I'll stop touring when I've paid the house off. I'll start saving when I've paid off the house.
And you, Craig?
I hear what you say. So I'm quite good at putting holidays in my diary and not waiting for the future when I retire, I can go and do these things. So I'm very much more aware of doing it now. So you've
kind of gotten rid of the when. How did you do that?
The big help was Mark Williams, and he's been on our show before, and how he plans his year. You know, first on the ideal week, and then you plan your whole year. And we often put holidays in the year. So there's not too many. So I suppose because for me, holidays and traveling and going to the bush is very important. And because we've done that, we put it in the diary, have time to go and do it. And when I work hard. So, so that's been good. I don't say when I retire one day, I'm going to go to the Kruger for a week. You know, if something comes up, we try and plan to go to the Kruger for a week, for example. So
That's
I'm
good.
quite good like that. I'm also aware of it. I think in our industry we have a lot of people who gear for retirement. They reach 65, they get ill, often die soon after that, and they've got these big plans, which is really sad. I met a widow the other day whose husband, they sold everything for this around the world trip in a really nice camper van, and they were going to tour for a couple of years, and as soon as they started to think about touring, he got ill and he died within a year. So she's got this camper van, so there's so many of those type of stories. I'm really aware of it. So, but it's very difficult to take the when out. I don't know.
I think it is and it isn't. It's just about awareness. Like, I don't think maybe now you will be aware of how Mark has taken that out for you. So that you are living your life. And that's the point of bringing this up in our podcast, is just to, what are you as the listener saying, I'll do this when? Like, what is it that's holding you back? And how can you do it differently if you do want to do it differently? So that you do have it all. It's not to say that, like, you have to change all your wins. It's just noticing it and taking those little tools that you can put in place so that those things don't happen. Like, that couple, I'm 90% sure that they spent a lot of their lives going, okay, we'll do this when, we'll do that when. And for you guys haven't, because you've had that awareness through, I don't think the word's therapy. What's the word, Mark? Coaching.
Coaching, yeah.
You've had that through coaching to really look at it and to embrace your life and your days and make sure that it's planned for now. And because you've done it that way, you go on those holidays, you feel revived, you come back, you work really hard so that you can go on the next holiday, and you've planned for your retirement. So the win is now, is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah, and well, I saw a video of Kingsley Holgate. He's a traveller. He's got a big white beard, and he's often sponsored by Land Rover.
Yeah.
And he goes up Africa and he helps people, and they've got expeditions and they try new stuff. And he's a really cool guy. And he said his friend was, they're having a braai one night, and his school friend, I'm not sure of exactly the whole story, but it's similar in this line. His school friend's a dentist, and he was, I think, 40 years old or around 50 maybe. And he said all he wanted to be was a farmer. So Kingsley Holgate said, well, why aren't you a farmer? He said, no, when? The when came in, when I retire. So he said, no, but listen, let me just show you something. So let's say he was 50. He took 8 pebbles and he put them on the sand. And he said, each pebble represents a decade.
Yeah.
Until you're 80. He said, you can probably do lots of stuff until you're 80. And after 80, physically, you might find it difficult. So you're 50 years old now. You take 5 pebbles away. So you got 3 left.
Yeah.
So he said to this guy, you got 30 summers, which is quite a shock. It's really shocked. You got 30 summers to do what you really want to do in life. Why are you going to wait for another 2 pebbles or whatever to pass if you don't do it now? Anyway, this guy was completely floored by the discussion. He sold his practice, he bought the farm, and he went farming straight away. He didn't wait for the when. So if you look at life like that, it shows you how short it is, and do it now.
Yeah, and that's just it. Like, I think that's what we want to shine light on today and to get people to do. And, you know, why would financial planners be talking about that? Because those are the things that you're supposed to be discussing with us. What is it that you want to do? How do you see your life? How can we make that happen for you now? You know, what chats can we have with you to help you look at your budget? So those things all happen, and they're not always the when. They're the now.
Do you find that maybe sometimes people use that, I'll do it when, or they procrastinate for the reason that it's having a goal or having something to work to gives you a fire inside. And so sometimes it's more the journey, as they say, than the destination. And so, like, my dad always says, one day we're going to do 6 months in Europe, 6 months here, 6 months. And I think he could afford to do it now, really, but he doesn't. And I think it's more because it gives him motivation to keep doing what he's doing. So do you think that there's sometimes a different side to that?
I think the difficult thing is finding the goal, you know, because you write down your goals. So you immediately go, holiday home, flights to Europe every year, buy a new car. Are they really your goals? They might not be your goal. Your goal might be to go every weekend to the Vaal Dam, sit on the side of the Vaal and fish.
Yeah.
I know I'm trying to say that you don't have to have these expensive goals. There are other ways of fulfilling your life.
Yeah.
Not to what mainstream media think you should do.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to find that.
I completely agree with that. I mean, I think that, you know, I always say when, and I do it because I'm procrastinating. It's not that I don't have the means to do it now. I could save and start putting money into an RA or something, but I just don't because I'm procrastinating.
So I think procrastination is based on a fear. So you've got to try to figure out what that fear is. So, for example, back to your dad's example.
Yeah.
Maybe he has a fear of spending some of that money now.
Yeah.
For that, you know, like, I think a lot of people have that mindset that, okay, when I'm in retirement, I'm allowed to spend my money on whatever I want, but now I'm not.
Yeah.
And so I think it would just be like, okay, well, what is it behind that? That, you know, is it because you can't take leave from work? Is it what are the actual reasons? What is it that's stopping or procrastinating you from doing that? Like, for you, you know, knowing a few things that we've chatted about, I think you have a fear of debt. So
absolutely,
you want to pay off the house.
Yeah.
So that's becoming your new when.
Yeah.
To stop you from living your life.
So, okay, so I see what you're saying. You think it's the fear of debt I have. So the fear is that. And then, So that's why I put that as the ultimate goal right now, and that's why everything else goes on the back burner.
And I also think the important thing is like when people say goals, somehow we think that there should just be one. Like, I don't think that there should be. I think there needs to be lots of goals. And what are you doing in each of them?
Yeah, but that's because you can multitask. If you try being a man, it's not easy, hey?
But it's not about
Like,
multitasking.
I have to have one goal at a time.
But it's like, okay, maybe it's not a goal. Like, okay, so one of the questions we ask our clients is, if you had a magic wand, money was no object, what would your day look like? What would your life look like? So if you looked at a month or 3 months, what would be in those months?
Yeah. So for me, okay, if money was no object, I'd be doing the same thing I'm doing now. I love what I do.
Okay.
I love my day to day.
Okay. And time with Finn, how would that change? Time with Kirst?
I think the only thing that would change is I would no longer be touring. If money was no object, I would no longer be touring. But I love my simple life. I love doing these podcasts. I love doing my mixing. I love my studio. I love doing my woodworking. I get to see my son every day. I'm there if he needs me during the day. I can pop over and go and pick him up. I'm my own boss. I can do what I want. My time is my own, and I don't need a big house. I don't need fancy car. I don't need any of that stuff. So I'm very happy. If I won the Euro Millions tomorrow, I'd pay the house off, and then the rest would go into some sort of savings. The only thing I think would change is maybe we'd have a nice holiday every year, which we can't currently afford.
So I think that's also, like, I'm getting a bit therapy.
No, let's go.
I think it's also some limiting beliefs in a way, because like if you won that, maybe you would do more holidays. Like, that's just your perspective. What would Kirst do?
Oh, she'd stop working and...
Okay, so now if she is home every day, are you going to be home every day, both of you? Or are you going to travel more? Are you going to show Finn the world? Like, what is it?
So I think that we're getting into a sort of area of, with Finn, it's what do I want for him growing up? I don't want him to be spoiled. I want him to work hard. I mean, a big part of why I've done this house on my own is because I want to be able to say to him one day, it wasn't easy, but I did it. It's very important for me that he works hard, no matter what he does. So that's why I wouldn't want any level of wealth to change that. And that's why I don't think...
What is your fear of wealth?
I don't have a fear of it. I feel like... people often mistake freedom and wealth as the same thing. And all that wealth does for you, if it's managed correctly, is it gives you your time back.
Yeah.
Where you're no longer an employee, you're no longer a slave to a wage. That's all it does, in my opinion. You can go and buy fancy cars. You can go and buy a massive house. You can do all those things if you want to. That's cool. People have to do that. People want to do that. That's fine. But my freedom is my time, and I have that now. So I don't need any more money. I the only thing that I don't feel free, if we go back to it, is the bond. I don't feel free because we owe the bank.
Oh, but that'll get easier and easier as time goes by. And I think the important thing here, Bonnie, is that it's don't wait for it to happen. Start changing your life now, and you can do little changes. It'll make you feel better about it. So you don't have to wait for the long-term goal.
Yeah, for sure.
You can have a lot of smaller goals, and you can do, if you really hate your job and you see an opportunity of changing a career, do it now. Don't sit back and have a regret one day.
Yeah, like I'll change my career when, and all of those kind of things. And yeah, just focusing on the you now, the you in the future. Look at all of those things. Don't forget about the retirement, as a client listening, I think.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
But also a balance, I guess,
Definitely.
don't only save up for retirement.
No, exactly.
And that's what I'm saying, the goals. Retirement has to sort of be a part of your goal, paying off your bond. So not just focusing on one goal.
No, exactly.
And then shifting over to the next goal. So when this goal's done, that one, it's like looking at all of them.
Have the balance.
So I'm going to have to learn to multitask.
Awesome. Okay, think we got it?
Yeah.
I think we did.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Have a good day.
You too.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. If you have enjoyed this podcast, would like to subscribe, please visit our website, www.growthfp.co.za. The information we have provided in this podcast is our personal opinion. For more detailed information, please discuss your financial situation with a financial planner.